Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. I'm joined today by the Will Ramos.
Hello!
And you can tell we're in a different place than normal. We are hanging out in Chris Lipe's studio where we are working on something big.
It's going to be huge.
Massive. If you want to learn more about harsh vocals and how to safely warm up your voice and take care of things, you can click on the link below to get Will's free warm-up course. But for now, we're going to check out a band that I've yet to hear. But this is Will's favorite band. What's your favorite band?
My favorite band is Sleep Token. They are so incredibly good, and you're in for something incredible.
So I'm super excited. Will's going to guide me through my first listening to Sleep Token. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it! It's the best band ever. Just want to let you know right now.
Perfect.
Start out just hitting you in the head with it. I've got a blood trail red in the blue. Something you say or something you do. A taste of the divine.
All right. First impressions.
So smooth. Yeah. He is killing it right now. I'm like, every single time. I don't see it doing it. I don't know.
I can feel Will just like bursting with excitement beside me as I was listening to this. He's like, I can't contain it.
This is my favorite part for the next 6 minutes. It's my favorite part.
Amazing. I loved the way that the sound slammed into you right at the very beginning. I loved that too, which is exactly what you said. But then it was so interesting. He has so much smoothness in his voice, but then there are also all these like extra sounds that he's adding in where he's like, at one point, I think he breathes through his teeth. He goes, almost like
he does a lot
Hannibal.
of breathing. A lot of breathing's going on. You could hear it sometimes when the vocals cut. He just does like, I'm like, wow, that is the best breath I've ever heard in my entire life.
Like ghostly.
It is. It kind of is. I like it. It's good. It's good.
But then there's also extra sounds like he just creaks into it. And also there are offsets. So when he stops the sound or stops singing, you'll hear an additional sound right afterwards. It's really interesting. So we're going to go back to the beginning. Boop.
Oh, almost got it.
Wow. It's like... okay. Right there, right when he gets in. It has like a little growl into the sound. Do you hear that? It's
yes.
It's like a dog that's growling a little bit into it.
I like it. He does that randomly in... I'm not going to ruin it. We'll find out when we get there. But he does these really cool things in there where it's like it almost sounds like he's like a little grunty in his screams. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, it's like he's grunting into a clean sound.
Yes, he does that.
I've got a river running right into you. I've got a blood trail red in the blue.
That was actually a really great example of an off blue. He like does an extra sound afterwards.
He does it at like so much, and it's so. I feel like it fits. It's so nice. I think it's incredible how you can. A lot of people when they think of like really heavy music like that, like how the song starts and it just kind of like hits you with like a really heavy guitar, and you usually just imagine screaming over it or like a high-pitched singer or something like that, and he just comes in and he makes his voice fit super perfectly in there. And it's kind of crazy because like even when you're listening to just the instrumental, you're like, how do you even come up with the patterns to fit into this and then make it sound really good? And then let me do a little in there, and now it fits. I don't know.
Like there's a certain amount of intimacy in the extra sounds that he's creating that I wouldn't expect to hear in a really heavy track.
Exactly. It almost reminds me of like how rap, in a way, they go like, yeah, or they'll throw like little things in there in between to just like spice up the next part.
It's like all kinds of fillers.
Yes.
Okay, back right there.
Blood trail red in the blue. Something you say or something you do.
draws so many breaths afterwards. I have to think like he must have really good breath that day.
Oh, he must.
Yeah, not
He's
like
just really
us.
good at breathing.
We had garlic in our potatoes this morning. Anyhow, or maybe he thinks that people should have more garlic in their potatoes.
Well, whatever he's doing is great. I'm gonna do that. Yeah. Wow.
I love that.
He is so good. He is so freaking good. It is incredible.
Oh, it's like pretty.
I love the mixture of just like the way he puts his falsetto in there, and it just makes it sound super lovely, like incredibly pretty, exactly the way you describe it.
There's so many layers that he's added on. It's like it's such a thick and full sound without necessarily being like really full within the vocal folds. Like you don't have like tons of that TA like thick engagement there. You just have tons of layers that are making the thick engagement happen. I'm gonna go back here. That was such a that was like,
God, what are you doing? What are you doing to us? Oh my
so sorry.
God!
I want to go back again. Okay.
I think we should go back. Let's listen to the chorus like 3 more times.
Yeah, I agree. All right, but here's like one of the reasons why I think it has such a full sound is because it's not using really typical harmonies. It feels like it's almost jazzy in some ways. It's not totally consonant. It's got some. It feels really expansive, right? And
it gives me a good feeling inside. I'll tell you that. I've never heard any other vocalist sound anything like this. So when I hear Vessel kill it, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's doing it. I don't even know where he thinks of it in the back of his mind when he's writing it.
Right. Does he do this kind of layering a lot?
Sometimes not. The choruses are usually like very big, so you can hear it, obviously. The layers come in there and they make it sound huge. But then you would think, like a lot of these things, you're like, how these guys probably don't do that live. But I've watched live videos and it is like identical. It is insane to see how he does it.
Some software to help with the voice.
I'm sure there's some kind of vocal processing to make it a little bit bigger, but you could tell that I don't think it's backtracked. There's no backtracking going on.
Yeah, but
as
he
far
might be
as
like
I'm
playing
aware.
keys on the piano and sending it through or something like that, so he's getting the extra notes.
Maybe.
I
can see that.
Ah, that's cool. Okay.
Vessel, if you're listening to this, you got to let us know.
Yes, please. Okay.
So sick. I love that. This is you with the hardest riff out of the chorus. And then
Whoa.
Okay, so let's bring this back for a second. That was sick.
That was sick.
It always is. Because he doesn't even do a lot of screaming in general. So when he pulled out like screaming in this song, it is so sick to hear him go from like his super cleans into like these whisper talking whatever, and then straight into like a fry scream. It fits the part so perfectly, which is so I don't know, you wouldn't expect that, and then they hit you with it, and I just absolutely love that.
What would you do to create a sound like that?
Like a fry scream?
Yeah. How would you think about it?
I don't know. I would just think about it literally like almost like a high, not like too high. Obviously, there's a lot of, I think processing that's going on behind it to like make it a little bit more gainy, so that it sounds the way it does. But it, if you're a screamer and you're singing, if you're a singer and you're screaming these things live, you probably need a little bit more gain so you don't just like totally blow out your singing voice. Potentially, I don't know. I don't do both at the same time. Obviously, I do one or I do the other one, but I will not do both at the same time. But the fact that he pulls it out is like really cool.
Would you do a higher constriction or a low constriction?
Higher constriction for sure, yes.
And that's where Will's throat like goes like this and looks like a black hole inside. And there are just so many different apparatuses that are coming together to create essentially a different sound source in his true vocal folds. And it's totally mind-boggling to see that in action. And again, we've got something really, really big coming up where you'll get to dive much more into that. So remember, there's a link below, but won't tell you more about that right now.
We can't ruin the surprise. We can't, but we're going to leave you on the edge of your seat.
We got to go back to this because when he started these harsh vocals, it was really, really cool.
It's so
what
good.
A cool turn.
Oh, yes.
Oh, perfect. Again, I think
It's right here. Whisper.
Yeah. Okay. So that in itself is amazing. Sorry, Will. So essentially, he just code switched like 3 times. He did a whisper into this creaking sound into a fry scream.
Yes.
And all of those are using different kinds of vocal mechanisms to make it happen. And that was very, very fluid. It's really mind-boggling to me when people do this and are not hurting themselves. That's because it's so easy to, if you've engaged one part, when you go to the next part, to leave another part engaged. But we know that when people have incredible careers, when they continually go back and forth between clean or harsh vocals, or they have just longevity, aren't, destroying their voices, we know that it's done in a way that isn't harmful. So this is amazing. Oh,
yeah. I mean, I even feel like when he does this technique, it's like he's doing it's a fry scream and then a whisper, like how he just does is like blah, 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 blah. And then, but as he's starting to get to the fry scream, you can see that he's starting to like engage into the fry scream more, and you could hear it in like that halfway part where it's this way. When you listen to it, it's not just like you're getting hit in the head with it. It's very smooth transition from what was just cleans into screams, which is also really good songwriting if you ask me, because I love it when people make it like you're not just getting hit in the head. I mean, yes, you are in a way, but also it feels natural. It doesn't feel like it's just coming out of nowhere. Yes. And I think they nailed it with that for sure.
Yes. That's so cool. Okay. Time there. More time, because it's so good.
This song is so different from any of their other ones. Yes, but then...
Oh my gosh, it feels
totally
so
out of left field, but it works.
Right?
It is incredibly progressive, because normally you would not hear something like that. I feel like, I don't know if it's the key of the guitar or maybe just like the sound that's going on in the guitar, but you would not expect to hear something like that in a song that's already been going with this momentum.
I feel like it's like a space cowboy anime at that point.
Oh yes, and it gets even weirder as the song goes on, but it's such a tasteful way that it's like you love to. I feel like this song just throws in so many different elements. Like you hear the beginning, it's got crazy, really nice, smooth singing. They throw the falsettos in there, and then he's like, "Now we're gonna scream in your face," and then hit you with this thing that you were not expecting to be next. So it's like, what could be next? What's next?
Right? It's a really good journey.
It progresses even more.
I'm going to go back a little bit again.
You've got my body, flesh and bone. The sky above, the earth below.
I feel like you're flying through space, like what you're saying, like a...
when they're improvising in there, it feels like every time an instrument goes to a place, instead of going to the place I expect it to go to, it bubbles over. Does that make sense?
And it sounds almost weird to the ear, but it all makes it makes sense musically.
Yeah, it does.
That's the first couple of times I listened to it, I was almost a little bit thrown off, but then as I listened to it more, I was like, wow, this is actually, I mean, it makes sense. It's just not where your brain wants to go to, and then it just goes there, and you're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, nice. It expands my brain each time it does it.
Which makes me think of the jazz element that you were talking about before. So it's like that with the vocals, I guess with the guitar as well, and this is a very progressive song, to say the least.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the most successful ones they have right now.
I'm digging it. Okay. It's also the time signature.
It is something like, there is something weird going on, right?
Yeah, I was trying to count. I was like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh no, there was another bar and there was another 1, 2, 3 that happened.
Not anymore. Yeah. Chorus.
Yeah.
Which is also strange if you think about, usually when you listen to metal music, it's like verse or intro, verse, chorus, pre-chorus, chorus, and then whatever, and then they throw in the guitar solo. But like we just heard the guitar solo, and we're only 2 minutes into the song.
Ooh.
And it's like a 7-minute song, so.
That's really point.
That's like, it's talking about song structure. That's very out of there. That's incredibly progressive as it is. They don't usually throw guitar solos at the very end or the last 3/4 of the song. So
it makes me wonder.
Very
if we're
cool.
Get another one.
Oh,
don't tell me.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
Jazzy. This riff also almost sounds similar to the previous one, which was just like a breakdown, but it's like a very pretty version of the same thing where you don't even want to break down. You're just like, wow, this is very satisfying to hear.
Glorious, right? Satisfying.
Yes, it's satisfying. You get that. What you wanted to hear the first time, you get it the second time a little bit further in. Incredible.
I love it when I feel satisfied by a song immediately.
Oh, yes.
Don't leave it till the end. Amazing.
And we're only halfway into the song. Oh, insane. What is going on right now?
A pretty voice.
I'm spiritual.
Okay, I'll go back a little bit.
Love to see how high he goes to that. Right? You're like, it's not gonna get higher, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. And it sounded like he didn't actually have any register flip, but he sort of blended it as it went up, which was really, really cool. And then essentially went into another registration with harsh vocals right afterwards, which is again nuts because of that code switching that's happening.
Yes.
He sounds like his voice just sits nicely lower, but then when he went up high, it was just really surprising. I didn't expect him to have so much ease.
I mean, that's when you hear his voice, he has like a more of a baritone voice, I would say, something like that. So you don't think like he would hit a note like that. And then it's like, oh, I mean, it's also like a falsetto note. So I mean, it's not like from the chest, I imagine.
I'm actually not totally sure. That's why I think he blended it as he went up. I don't think he totally flipped over. It's like he mixed into it. I'm not sure he went totally into falsetto there. Which is why it's kind of crazy to me, because if he'd just gone straight falsetto, I think there would have been like more of a break that we heard. And instead there was just this smooth. And it had a lot of, it could have been like going essentially towards a reinforced falsetto, possibly. Anyhow, let's go back and listen to that moment again. I'm going to listen for a break and see if I can find one.
I feel like there's a flip you can hear, but he goes like,
Okay, it sounds, I think that he probably went into a reinforced falsetto, which is why it sounded so smooth. And it's got that extra punch and power, but it's not falsetto in the way that it's like ethereal, airy, right?
No, I can hear that. Definitely.
Yeah. One more time there, because that's great.
Not upset about that. I think it's really cool to hear how he goes straight to the screams afterwards, using 3 different vocal techniques and then almost seamlessly.
Yeah. Do you feel like that is something that you try to do sometimes? You don't do as much cleans on your recordings, but I know you play with them all the time.
Yes. I mean, I think I would like to be able to transition smoothly. I mean, the way how I can transition from like lows to highs when it comes to screaming, I would love to be able to do the same thing with singing, but like actually good. Because like, I'll do it and I'll be like, that was bad. Okay, let's just do the singing and then we'll just do the screaming and then put them next to each other and there you go. Bam, now we did it. But it's like to hear him just like, and I know he does it live too. That's really freaking cool.
It's really awesome. 3
different techniques and it's almost like it's just one line. He's not pausing in between anything. Mm-mm. And that's really cool. That's a lot of control, I feel like.
It's super cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, back to that one more time.
See, they hit you, and you're like, what is going on right now? They bring you back to the first breakdown that they had, and then they're just like, we're going to cut it. Just like how they cut it for the guitar solo that you're just not expecting to hear anything like that.
But there was enough similarities in the way that they were going full out and then quiet and then full out and then quiet. But then it took you to a different kind of quiet. And you're like, wait, like you offered me chicken nuggets and you gave me bacon.
Yes. I love that. I don't know what, and it's something that I noticed that's interesting about Sleep Token. Usually, as the song goes on, it gets progressively louder.
Oh.
Which is very different. A lot of people don't like notice these things, but it's like it plays on your auditory receptor or whatever the hell you want to call it, where like usually when things are louder, your brain
likes it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
our
so
brain's like, yeah, must be good. It's
exactly
loud.
Even if it's like really bad, but in this case it's fantastic. But like when you listen, I remember when I would do covers of Sleep Token, I would just start laying out my vocals, and when you render the whole thing, you can see the track is really small, and then as it gets to the end, and it's very like you're like, oh, this is perfect volume, but then it gets to the end and you're just totally peaking and you got to bring everything down, but nothing has changed at all, except I guess they're just bringing the track louder, but like it makes it so much more like what is it? Climatic? Is that what the hell am I?
Climactic?
Climactic. There you go. Thank you, Jesus Christ. It makes it more climactic, and then when it comes to the end, you're like, wow, this is incredible. How did we get to this point?
It's so gutsy too, because I feel like it's a thing in the industry, and there's a whole this thing called the loudness wars. It's all about trying to figure out how to make a track louder, but that means that people are starting with a loud track, and sometimes we'll talk about it like it's a sausage because it's just straight across.
Oh yeah, and we sausage in Lorna.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we call it. We just call it the sausage.
And then you have the ends where it like begins and ends, and then every now and then you have little points where it's squeezed, where you had a momentary break so that the listeners could appreciate the loudness all over again.
Yes.
That's really gutsy that they're getting louder. Whoa.
Now you hear this, if you're listening to this, you will notice it. And the beginning of the songs are always like how the song started. It's just him just like very silent and just like warming you up into the song. And then as the song goes on, it just gets bigger.
That's crazy.
I love that.
Did you guys know that this is Will's first ever reaction analysis video? And look at how amazing he is.
Am I doing good? Am I doing all right?
I'm learning so much from Will in this, and sometimes it's really awesome. Thank you.
I've never done this before. This is like, I was like, I'm going to bomb this thing. This is going to be horrible. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I forgot that Sleep Token is my favorite band. I have so many things to say about Sleep Token.
Things to say.
And we're only 3 minutes and 40 seconds into the 6-minute song. Come on.
Right? Oh my goodness, we can make this so much longer. Okay, let's go back.
So I'm down. Wow. As you take your deep breath, you're like, wow, that was intense. I almost wonder if it's like a vocal. Do you hear that? Like an ambient vocal that's like panning from left to right.
I totally think that is a vocal that's been produced in some way. And actually, I think that every now and then he might have a vocoder, and that might be how he's got
he
some
does.
of the layers. Okay, that's
he definitely
how he
does.
layers live then.
There's some songs that you'll hear where it just sounds like it's straight vocoder, and it's fantastic.
It's like a little Imogen Heap hide and seek kind of vocoder elements to it.
Oh, yes, exactly that. Yep.
Yeah.
There's one song that's like very heavily, you could tell that it's like, they definitely listened to that song and were like, we're going to put a crap load of vocoder in this and it's going to sound incredible.
And then we're going to make it metal.
And it's incredible. And it is metal as hell.
I love it.
Yes.
That's
That's not this one though. But this is also a good one.
Oh, well, I might have to check that one out.
You'll have to check that one out at some point in the future too.
What, he's being targeted with lasers? What's going on?
So I don't know what's going on in this music video, but I noticed every single music video, like if you play a role-playing game and you got to choose your hero or whatever your class is going to be, every music video seems to have a different, person. I'm not sure what it is. This person seems to have a gun for a hand, or they're holding a gun.
Guns for hands.
Handgun! I don't know, but we're in Colorado. They have handguns out here. Not where I'm from, though. New Jersey. Anyway, but every song is literally like they have like a different. I don't know why they're doing it. I'm sure it'll make sense when the whole album actually comes out, and they're like, "Here is the reason behind." Every single song has a different thing, a different theme to it, or something like that.
And album's coming out. It's May of this year, May 19th,
May something. I think it's May. I want to say it's May 19th. Don't quote me on that one, but I'm gonna say yes.
That's exciting.
It should be sooner.
How excited are you?
I'm upset. I'm upset it's not right now.
Okay, well, let's listen to more right now. I feel like this is a laser honing in. That panning is really
Yes. I wonder what this song would sound like with an Atmos mix.
That would be amazing.
It would be incredible.
Also, I swear that they're calling back to Portal right now, and that might be why it has the really big gun. Have you ever played Portal?
Yes.
Okay, you know the little like drones that target you with those red lasers, and then you've got a portal gun.
No way!
I think it's Portal.
You think this is Portal?
Maybe.
Sleep Token, is this Portal? What's going on? We need to know the answers.
Also, that's one of the best co-op games ever. I love the way you can make a hole in the wall and be like, yeah, companion, jump through it and we'll see what happens.
I used to play that game all the time with my friends because we had this little arcade where you would go in and they have 100 computers on one side and on the other side, and they always had Portal and you could play with people that were sitting next to you. Incredible game.
It's amazing. Yes.
That's what makes you think, just like this music. Coincidence? I think not.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay,
this song is
awesome.
very jazzy. Don't worry. It's going to get even more thought-provoking.
Oh, dear.
Yes. You're going to be totally thrown off. Portal gun.
Targets. I see you.
I don't know where they came up with the idea for this, but I'm like, this is cool. Cool visualizer.
Yeah.
Choose your fighter. cry. I love piano and metal. You know what I'm saying? I love it. It gives you these feelings. I haven't felt it so long. Thank you, Steve Tuck. That's what you've done.
Tell me about those feelings you've got right now.
Oh my God. This is like, you listen to this song at 2 o'clock in the morning, driving home, and you're just like, why do you do this? They knew what they're doing.
They knew what they were
They're
doing.
like, we're going to make this music for you guys to cry. They want to hurt you.
Those 2 o'clock criers. This is for you.
That's me. I mean, no, it's not. I thought it was 2 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock in New Jersey, though, right now.
Oh my gosh.
That's why that alarm went off. Oh my God.
That was amazing. 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
And not the same, but it might be the same for me if I'm alone.
Right. That's true. This can hit me any time of day. Okay, I'm going to go back a little bit. It's so ambient.
Yes, I like the ambience. I love when they put that in metal.
Yeah.
And it is hard to say how this is metal, but it is metal.
Man, that needs to be like a bigger discussion.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Here we go.
What?
Yep.
Did I mistake you for a sign from God? Or are you really here to cast me off? Or maybe just to turn me on? 'Cause these days
What?
Completely flipped the script. And when I told, that's why I said it was going to be jazzy. I wasn't lying. When I first heard the song, I was like, what is going on right here? This is completely not what I was expecting. But I feel like this whole song is that in a nutshell. They just hit you with things you're not ready for.
I don't know how they made that work. They made it work. I don't know how they made that work.
I think they did like a key change or something. I don't know if it's a key change or if it's the whole song just sounds different because there's so many different things that are going on. It's not what you were listening to. I don't even know if there's like the guitar before was like doo 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 doo, and this is just like a Panic at the Disco kind of thing.
I definitely hear some Hosier in his voice too. Like there's some pleading in it, and there's also like some funk that's coming in there.
Yes.
Whoa.
Very exotic. Very exotic.
So progressive though.
Yes.
Man, so when I've been listening to the transitions so far and really noticing, I keep thinking, how do they make a transition that is this crazy work? And I keep thinking that there's some sort of element they've carried over from the previous part, and that's how they've continued to drag us along on a journey that we totally didn't expect. And I'm not really sure what the element was this time. I want to go back.
Bring it back.
Dude, is it back? I feel like back here.
Most replayed is literally the part that's coming up. You can see it on the thing. Look at that.
That's crazy.
Everyone's favorite part is either the beginning or the end. Right here.
Yeah. Everyone is mind blown right here.
Yes.
did I mistake you for a sign from God? Or are you really here to cast me off?
It's the funky boom. It is funk.
Yeah.
It's like they just threw a whole funk song at the end of the song and they were like, all right, this is what it is. Because the guitar does not sound anything like that. The drum is very relaxed. And then whatever effect they have on the bass just sounds... I don't think they've used that at all on the rest of the song.
Not at all. Yeah, it's got a very sharp attack and a release that is totally, it has a bounce to it essentially.
Yes.
Whoa. I think that the thing that might be carrying over is sort of this more relaxed feeling of tempo. I'm like, what is it? Because we had this ambient thing that slowed us down and is allowing us to appreciate this section. I think if we'd taken this section and put it earlier in the song, it wouldn't have worked.
No.
Because we didn't have something to string us into it. So I think that it's that we had the slower tempo that we could move into this and have this actually be a heightening of what we had previously. But I don't know. I'd be really curious to actually ask them how they think about their transitions.
Tell us.
Tell us.
Oh,
over there. I want that transition.
We need it.
also are using the ambience and like letting it fade out, like have it just verb out.
It blends in.
Yeah, it does this. Back one more time.
Oh yeah.
Did I mistake you for a sign from God? Or are you really here to cut me off? Or maybe just to
That's what sounds like
turn
close to
me
me.
on?
Oh.
Yeah, like a slide.
'Cause these days
And that too.
I would be lying if I told you that
Oh.
I didn't
I never heard that till now. It's a good headphone.
your
You can listen to this with good headphones.
Yes.
or maybe make a good girl bad.
Whoa.
Make a good girl bad. Is that what happened when I went from opera to metal?
That's what happened to you. You're impure now. You've been corrupted by the token.
Spoiled by metal.
Come on.
Wow. No, there's this sort of take me to church vibes, right?
Yes.
You get from Hosier. That's really, yeah, it's solid. It has sort of like a more a cappella vibe overall. It's not actually a cappella, but it just has more space for the vocals to hang out in, and then just singing on whoa whoa, and also the singing. It isn't perfect. They're not trying to make it perfect. We don't have a bunch of tuning that's happening where it's like you are in it this pitch. Instead, it lets him have sliding and lots of extra expression, and isn't trying to mess with that. Instead, it's trying to enhance that.
I can see that. It feels more natural.
Yes.
I mean, this is also a part, like, I feel like if they put a crazy amount of tuning, you would probably hear, because there's not really much going on aside from that. It's all just straight vocal. So you want it to feel natural.
Yeah. But it's really interesting to take that and then contrast it with vocoder. Right? It's the opposite, and they managed to keep them in the same song together.
Oh, yeah.
Nuts.
A lot of elements going on here.
Back further. No, give me the transition.
More!
Give me the transition.
There we go.
Did I mistake you for a sign from God? Or are you really here to cut me off? Or maybe just to turn me on?
Such a strange effect on the guitar or the bass, whatever that is.
And he has that effect. There's kind of like a certain drive as well that's also in the vocal line.
Yes.
And it makes the two have something in common.
'Cause these days I would be lying if I told you that I didn't wish that I could be your man, or maybe make a good girl bad. River running right into you.
Mix up a little bit.
Got a blood trail, red in the blue. Something you say or something you do. The taste of the divine. You got my
He was like he does it. He's doing all
Okay.
of these offsets everywhere that are really cool.
There's one thing that I've noticed about Vessel, whose name I still have I'm going to refer to him as Vessel, because obviously that's what. But anyway, so Vessel, he does this thing where he will hold notes out for, like, if it's supposed to be like a solvent, like he will do solvent. Like he will hold it out that the last letter super late, and it's something he does all the time, and I think it's so nice.
He's juicing his enunciation
Yes.
essentially.
Yes.
Like last
Juice
drop
it.
of enunciation.
Juice it. Yeah, he's so good with that. And I think what also makes this part of the song work with the previous parts of the song is that a lot of the lyrics that you're hearing are also lyrics from previously in the song, whether you're aware of it or not. Like what we just heard was like at least a solid couple bars from somewhere else in the song.
Cool. Yeah, first time listening, I was not aware of that at all.
We're also pausing it a lot, so you know.
Well, yeah.
We have to.
We have to.
We need to dissect
We gotta
this
get
thing,
into it. Understand
But now
it.
you know.
You know, did you ever juice your harsh vocal enunciation?
I don't think
I
so.
think you do sometimes.
I don't think I do it consciously.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna end up doing it consciously all the time.
Now I am, yes. I've tried singing Sleep Token so many times, practicing out here. I'm gonna juice it. Juice it.
That was the sound of it being juiced.
Oh yes, obviously.
That makes sense.
Or something you do, the taste of the divine. You got my body, flesh and bone.
Yeah.
The sky above, the earth below. Nothing to say, I know where to go. The taste of the divine.
Oh, is that the end?
That's the whole song.
No! Okay, we're gonna go back because
Bring us
thinking
back.
about the juicing of the enunciation here, I had mentioned earlier that I really liked this diphthong that he did, which is when you have one sound that is comprised of two vowels. So I, divine. The I part of that is a diphthong combined of an A and E. And when you're singing lines like this, you have to think about how long you're going to stay on the first or the second vowel. He has really thought about where that vowel transition is going to happen, and he juices every moment of it.
He does it all the time, and it sounds so good. And I love the vibrato that he just throws on almost every single vocal that he does.
It's a really good vibrato.
Yes,
I
it is.
agree. I agree. So I want to go back one more time and let's check out, just listen for how he's paying attention to those diphthongs. He has so many. Bone at
What do
one
you call it,
point,
a dip?
divine, diphthong.
Diphthong.
Diphthong. Yeah, it's DIPHTHONG. Diphthong. It is one of the most frequently misspelled words.
Yeah, I would have definitely spelled it wrong.
Right. But it is, yeah, he's so specific about it.
He's amazing. Whoever it is.
Something you say or something you do, the taste of the divine.
He does it a lot. He did it there and he did it.
You got my body, flesh and bone. The sky above, the earth
Vibrato.
below.
I love that vibrato too.
He throws it everywhere.
Say I know where to go. The taste of the divine.
And with that very last one, we're going to listen to it one more time. Divine. He decided when making a break there that he was going to hold it on the ah vowel before going to the second part of that diphthong.
And that's cool because there is no ah. It's just divine. Like the word divine, it's almost like you put that in there.
Well, yeah.
But you know what he's saying.
Yeah, he broke that diphthong up so purposefully. So exactly. He's able to hold it out on an ah and not disturb our understanding of the word. Just so
It's
cool.
like a divine. You're just like divine. But the way that it's saying is
Divine.
you get it.
It's so
It
cool.
you know what he's saying.
That last one more time.
All right, do it. And the vibrato. I love it.
I do too.
Oh my God. When I listened to this stuff, I was like, I need to make sure that this is real. Let's watch it live. And then I watched it live and I was like, oh my God. He does it live.
He does it.
He's
live.
amazing. Ah!
Oh my gosh. I can't believe that we just took Will's reaction analysis virginity.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Do it again.
It was so amazing.
Start from the beginning.
Let's go back to the beginning. Yes, it was so good. It was just awesome. I loved hearing the huge array of sounds that Vessel could make. And I have to say, I loved having you guide me through it.
I'm glad. I had a good time showing you these little things. At first, I didn't think I was going to know what I was talking about. And then I was like, okay.
You knew.
Maybe I kind of know a little bit more. I've listened to this a lot, so.
Yeah, and I mean, you know a lot about harsh vocals in general, too. So that was especially exciting to get to have that inner point of view on that. And if you want to know about harsh vocals as well, especially how to take care of your voice while doing harsh vocals, remember there is that link below that you can click on to get a free warm-up course with Will. So check that out and stay tuned for more. Thanks again.
Of course, thank you.
May you fall more in love with music every day.
We'll see you soon.
the Will Ramos.
Will Ramos is here, baby! I'm telling you, I did an interview once where they said my name wrong 4 times to start out the thing. They were like, hey, this is Will Ramos. Crap, one more time. Hey, I'm here with the Will Ramos. I'm like, oh my goodness. All right, we got this.
Throat balls. Sorry. Amazing.